I'm Ian Adamson.
And Danny Abshire.
We've been running this morning and we were talking about good running form and natural running gait.
If you're not a trained runner and you don't come from a trained background, you can get into so many bad habits. Overstriding, heel striking, leaning back with the upper body. We have to remember we're trying to move forward from A to B with gravity pushing down on us. Taking your shoes off, running across a nice grass surface, you'll notice that it's really not natural to strike your heel. The foot will land automatically underneath the body and you'll land on your forefoot, midfoot. It's very, very natural. If you had the shoes off and you run that way, then why would you run differently when you put shoes on and run on concrete and asphalt?
Well, that's true, and there's various reasons that in barefoot running you don't run on your heel. If you imagine running along this concrete path, striking with your heel, you'd end up breaking the bones in your body pretty quickly. And consequently you'd get up on your forefoot. It's a very natural thing to do. You see it in all sorts of circumstances. You see it on hard surfaces when you're running a better than 6-minute mile pace, and when you're running up hills you're always on that midfoot, forefoot. So you can see here where my joints are locked out that any force or shock from the ground is going to travel straight up through my leg and through my joints. As soon as you get forward into this athletic position, your body's a great big spring and you absorb all that shock. So this is the protective, natural way to run.
If you have a nice flexed ankle, flexed knee, you're absorbing shock and you're returning energy. All that muscle and tendon is in a position to store and retrieve your natural energy. So I'm just going to show you a side profile of what that looks like. Bent knees, bent ankles, looking forward about 20 yards, bend forward slightly. Automatically you start to move forward. Now if you're braking, you're hitting here, you can notice most people will start to hit here and gravity's forcing you backwards. If you want to use gravity to your advantage, you get in here, you straighten up, flex your knees, bend forward, feel that movement, that shock absorbency, and now just take off.
When I'm out there running, it feels really natural to just run. I think about staying on my forefoot, being relaxed in the upper body, and a slight lean forward. And if you're out there and you're just thinking about those three things, the form just takes care of itself. It becomes very natural. When I get tired and I start to see the weaknesses in my form come out, it's generally leaning back, getting really tight in the shoulders. If I notice that and recognize that that's happening, I can rectify it by that slight lean forward, and then the running takes care of itself.
This shoe is not just for elite runners, it's for beginner runners, intermediate type runners. As you change your running form into a more efficient stride, the main thing we want to emphasize is to take your time to adjust. The Newtons are very different from other footwear. Typically the shoes you're going to be coming out of are going to have a slightly higher heel, they're going to be slightly stiffer, they're going to be a little heavier. You're going to change the working muscles slightly. So you need to take the time and let your body adjust, let your muscles adjust, break into the technology, and transition safely. You want to think about landing lightly on the ground. You want to feel the leverage of the technology. As it levers forward, you just simply lift your foot off the ground. You'll spend less time on the ground, you'll have less impact, and then you'll be able to store and retrieve the energy from the shoes and from the muscles and tendons in your legs. So land lightly, feel the shoes lever, and then lift. You're flowing forward with gravity as opposed to gravity slamming you down to the ground and working against you. So keep those things in mind. You want to transition slowly if you are coming from the heel strike. If you're a midfoot, forefoot striker, still take a little bit of time to adjust to the shoes. The benefits that we're finding are improved speed, fewer strains once you're adjusted to the technology, and quicker recovery. Those are all signs of less impact and proper running form.